Well, 31 years ago today, the body of a missing girl from Bay Village was found in a farm field in Ashland County.
Now, more than 3 decades later, investigators have yet to charge anyone in the kidnapping and killing of Amy Mihaljevic. But the 5 on Your Side investigators recently uncovered newly filed court records showing investigators focusing in on a potential suspect.
Investigator Scott Knoll has more of what he's discovered in a story you will only see here on News 5.
These are the sworn statements from the lead investigator with Bay Village Police. In them, he says a woman came forward 2 years ago and identified her former boyfriend as a suspect in Amy Mihaljevic's murder. It's the case that shocked a community.
There has been panic and paranoia.
10-year-old Amy Mihaljevic kidnapped October 27, 1989.
Say lots and lots of prayers for Amy Renee Mihaljevic.
Despite thousands of tips, prayers from the community, and a nationwide search, on February 8, 1990, the search for Amy turned into the search for her killer. Mihaljevic's body found in a rural Ashland County farm field 50 miles away from the Bay Village Square shopping center where she was last seen talking to the man seen here in FBI composite sketches.
It's believed the man in this composite sketch kidnapped the 10-year-old girl from the Bay Village shopping center.
But who is he? 5 on Your Side investigators discovered police now following up on a tip they received in January 2019. According to newly filed court documents, a woman told police she suspects her ex-boyfriend is Amy's killer. We're not naming him because he's not been charged with any crime. But according to an affidavit filed last fall, the woman told investigators she lived with the man less than a mile and a half from the shopping center where Amy was last seen. Police say the man had family in Bay Village, including a niece in the same grade as Mihaljevic. And the night Amy disappeared, court records show the woman told police the man never came home. However, the woman told police she did hear from the man that evening, a phone call asking if she was aware of the news coverage on Amy's disappearance. And police say there's more.
They've been having this on television for 3 months. And then you wake up in the morning and find it's about 300 yards, find the body about 300 yards from your house.
Police say they found gold fibers on Amy's clothing after her body was discovered. The detective told a Cuyahoga County judge the now 64-year-old man drove a gold-colored Oldsmobile with a tan interior at the time. And police say his former girlfriend recalls traveling to Ashland County with the man. We've also learned on the day Amy's body was discovered, an FBI agent was assigned to record all cars and license plates passing through a nearby intersection. Police say around 5 p.m. that evening, the agent recorded the man's gold Oldsmobile driving by. According to the detective, his investigation has not been able to show any reason why the man should have been there that day.
We don't have like one suspect. We're like, yeah, this is the guy. But at the same token, we have such a vast amount of information. I think it's only going to take a couple pieces of information to tie all that together and actually solve it.
Just days after Bay Village's former police chief told that to News 5, investigators say the man in question walked into the police department and talked to investigators over the course of 2 days. In a sworn affidavit, the detective said the man, quote, made very suspicious statements, including that 1989 and 1990 was a dark period in his life. According to court documents, the man initially told investigators Amy was never in his car, but when asked again if it was possible, investigators say the man said, okay, but I don't know what the situation would have been. The detective wrote the man also agreed it was possible his DNA would be on a curtain found near Amy's body, and that his DNA would be on Amy's body, quote, if somebody planted it on her. Investigators say the man agreed to a DNA swab and also a polygraph test. Police say the result of that test was deception indicated. They also say the man did not show up the next day to sign paperwork allowing them to search a storage unit. Instead, according to the detective, police got a warrant, searched the storage units, where, quote, officers seized evidence. Leading up to the 30th anniversary of his daughter's murder, Mihaljevic's father told us he's still hopeful Amy's case will be solved.
It's something that you can never stop thinking about.
A case that after 31 years could be heating up. Police telling a judge that in May, 2 witnesses picked the man's picture out of photo lineups as the man they remember seeing Amy talking to the day she disappeared. So what else do we know about this man? Police say he's currently homeless and living in his car. We tried calling and texting him to ask about this case, we never got a response. We also tracked down the woman who came forward with this information. She referred us to investigators. But the Bay Village detective quoted in these court documents told us he wouldn't comment on what we found. In Bay Village, I'm 5 on your side investigator Scott Knoll.
If you have information about the murder of Amy Mihaljevic, the FBI is offering a reward of up to $25,000 for tips that lead to the arrest and conviction in her death. Anyone with information is asked to call this number, 1-800-CALL-FBI.